Imagine waking up tomorrow, grabbing your phone, and seeing that money came in while you were fast asleep. It is not from your boss, it's not from selling your old chair online, and it's definitely not from that one friend who still owes you dinner. It just appeared because of things you own. There are no alarm clock negotiations, no meetings to attend, and no pretending to look focused while you're actually thinking about snacks. For many wealthy people, this is not a fantasy. It is simply how their financial life is structured. The biggest difference between wealthy people and everyone else is not that they are superhuman, genetically blessed, or powered by a secret billionaire smoothie. It's that they gradually shift from earning money only through effort to building systems that generate money through ownership. Most of us are raised with a simple formula: study, get a job, and work hard. That formula can absolutely create stability, and there is nothing wrong with it. But wealthy people usually add another layer. They use their income to buy or build assets, and eventually those assets start doing the heavy lifting for them. An asset is anything that grows in value or earns you money while you sleep. It could be stocks, property, a business, or even digital products. The point is that once it exists, it produces value without you constantly pushing it. Think of it like this: if you stop working and your income stops instantly, you are essentially climbing a never-ending staircase in a massive building. The moment you pause, you stay exactly where you are. But owning assets is like stepping onto an elevator. Even when you stand still, the elevator keeps moving you to the next floor. One situation depends entirely on your legs. The other uses leverage to do the heavy lifting for you. Another difference appears the moment income increases. Most people experience lifestyle inflation, which is a polite way of saying that as soon as they earn more, they spend more. The car gets nicer, the apartment gets bigger, and suddenly the subscriptions multiply like they are on a secret mission to drain your bank account. Even with a higher salary, life feels strangely similar to the old one. Truly wealthy people are not allergic to enjoying their money, but they delay the big upgrades. When their income rises, they first strengthen their financial base. Only then do they consider buying more comfort. It is less flashy, but it prevents that weird situation where you earn a lot of money yet still feel financially fragile. Risk is another area where wealthy people think differently. From the outside, it might look like they are constantly taking bold bets. In reality, they are just very strategic. They rarely rely on one single opportunity to define their entire future. Instead of putting everything into one idea and hoping for the best, they spread their investments across different areas. If one performs badly, it hurts, but it does not destroy everything. It is like not putting all your groceries in one thin plastic bag. You might trust the bag, but you really do not want to test it. At the same time, they understand that avoiding all risk is impossible. Leaving your money sitting in a bank account for years might feel safe, but inflation quietly eats away at what that money can actually buy. What once paid for a comfortable life might later cover much less. By putting money into assets with growth potential, wealthy people stay ahead of that slow erosion. They do not just sit there and hope that prices will magically freeze forever. Curiosity also plays a surprisingly big role in wealth building. Many wealthy people treat money as something worth understanding rather than something mysterious and stressful. They learn how investments work, and they actually pay attention to how taxes affect their outcomes, which is about as exciting as watching paint dry, but much more profitable. They try to understand basic financial principles instead of assuming it is all too complicated. This does not mean they all become economists for fun. It just means they stay engaged. When new tools, technologies, or opportunities appear, they are more likely to explore them rather than dismiss them. They know that in a changing world, being curious is a lot more valuable than being cynical. Also, your social environment matters more than most people expect. The conversations you hear regularly influence what you consider normal. If everyone around you only talks about spending and surviving until payday, it becomes very easy to accept that as the standard. But if the people around you talk about investing, building, and long-term plans, those ideas start to feel normal instead of intimidating. Humans adapt quickly to their environment. Even something as simple as regularly hearing discussions about saving and building wealth can slowly reshape your own behavior. You might even find yourself talking about compounding interest at a barbecue, which might not make you the life of the party, but it will definitely make you wealthier. Consumption habits reveal another key difference. Many people associate wealth with visible signals like luxury cars, designer clothing, or large homes. Some wealthy individuals enjoy those things, but usually after building a strong foundation. They understand that visible consumption does not automatically create financial security. A diversified portfolio does not look impressive on social media, but it quietly works in the background. The order matters. Building assets first creates the stability that allows for future spending without constant stress. It's about choosing to be actually wealthy instead of just looking wealthy for people you do not even like. Consistency is perhaps the most underestimated factor of all. There is rarely one single dramatic moment that explains someone's wealth. Instead, it's usually the result of boring, disciplined actions repeated over many years. Regular investing, controlled spending, continuous skill development. None of this is exciting enough for a Hollywood blockbuster, but over time, the effects compound. Small, quiet decisions stack on top of each other until the difference becomes impossible to ignore. It is not about one giant leap. It's about taking small steps in the right direction, day after day, until you realize you have reached a completely different floor. Adaptability is also crucial in a rapidly changing world. Industries evolve and technology transforms how everything operates. Those who remain flexible and open to learning are much better positioned to benefit from change. In recent years, digital platforms and artificial intelligence have dramatically lowered the barriers to starting projects or investing globally. People who pay attention and adapt can capture opportunities that did not even exist a decade ago. It is important to understand that wealthy people are not perfect. They make plenty of mistakes. They invest in ideas that fail, they misjudge trends, and they definitely have moments where they wonder what they were thinking. The difference is that their overall structure is strong enough to absorb those errors. Because they do not depend entirely on one fragile source of income, a setback is just an uncomfortable Tuesday, not a financial catastrophe. They have built resilience into the system, so when they trip, they don't fall off the mountain.